Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 692. This is being broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and places like that. So feel free to go ahead and join us on the live stream so we can actually communicate before. You could call it the pre-show or the after show. I love getting to know you, so feel free to join us. We go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday even, at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East Coast, and 11 p.m. in the United Kingdom. Now, in today's episode, we're going into a story. It's a very, very quick one. Whether it's real or not, a parable or a metaphor, analogy, or a fable was probably the one I was looking for. It's pretty profound when we think about it, and I want to break it down. So this is about the wolf that we feed. You see, in this story, it's about Native American Indians. And there's the, the grandfather and the grandson, and they're around the campfire. And it was a story of how to manage the internal conflicts that we can have, because the grandson was going through this journey of change and transformation. And the grandfather pretty much just says, the elder goes, look, there are a constant battle within us, as if there's two wolves. One wolf is all about the anger, all about the jealousy, regret, greed, fear, worry, resentment, speaking of being inferior, false pride, just that kind of the negative side of the equation. And then you got the other wolf, which is one that is of love, of peace, of joy, of confidence, of just being kind, just being a good person. And as he was telling this story to his grandson, the grandson pretty much just asked a question that, which wolf wins within us? And the simple reply was, the one that you feed. Okay, the one that you feed. Now, what does that really mean? If we can utilize that when it comes to our goals, our dreams, our mission, ambition, our vision for becoming the person that we desire. I really believe that we have this tale of two journeys. The journey of staying the same, the journey of becoming the person that you desire to be. And we all have the ability to make that change to be the person that we want to. But we can, and this is us being open and honest. We got to be open and honest. We can play into the victimhood of our circumstance. That our tragedy that we go through defines who we are, what we're going to become, and we give up our power. We give up our power and we feed the wolf of anxiety, of the fear, the dread, the jealousy. I mean, let's be honest. Have you ever seen someone's life and you go, oh my goodness, I want to achieve X, Y, Z just like them, but we feel a level of resenting them for their success. Jealousy, worry, and doubt, and all of those things. If there is that part of us playing out and we play into it, it's going to hold us back in the most crazy, horrible way. And I'm not saying that you're consciously trying to feed the wolf, which is of fear, of worry, of doubt, of anger and sadness and guilt and hurt and frustration, regret, all of those things. I'm not also really saying you're doing that at a conscious level, but it's almost as if a part of us is playing out that story. And that can be very, very hard to take. Because the way I see it for myself, and I've got to be really, as honest as I've got to be with you, I've got to be honest with who I am in my life experience. So I do look in the mirror and go, what is really happening here? Am I happy with who I am? Am I achieving the success that I desire? For me, like, am I having the impact that I really, really want to make in the world? And if I look in a mirror and I realize that maybe I'm not acting out as well as I not should be, but could be. Because I don't want it to come from a negativity of like, I got to, have to, need to. But playing to my goals and dreams, I've got to look myself in the mirror and go, look, am I getting the results that I want on an abundance level, a financial level, a career level, a relationship level, a health level? All of those things, only I can look in the mirror. Because I can speak a good game, right? If I wanted to. I could tell my friends I'm happy. I could tell my friends that life is good. But if on the inside, I'm feeling, for example, like an imposter. If I feel like the fear, the dread, and the anxiety, and I accept that as my reality right now, even if I'm trying to change, even if I'm battling it every day, because in the battle, we are still feeding that wolf, our fear, our greatest worries and doubts of who we are in this world. It's going to kick us. It's going to cause us to stop and be the person that we want. So whenever I speak to people, once they've joined the program of mine, for example, I really do want them to look in the mirror and go, look, your dream is worth fighting for. Your emotional freedom, the liberation from fear, anxiety, worry, doubt, all of those things can change in an instant. And it's all about how badly you want it. Are we going to continually feed into and buy into our past experiences? Are we going to buy into what that person told us that we weren't ever going to make it? I don't know if as a parent, as in one of your parents, or a guardian, or a teacher, or a friend, or just the events that we've gone through. There is going to sometimes be that, well, that must be who I am. That must be all that I amount to. And we feed into that darkness. It makes us play small. It makes us and causes us to feel like, who am I to be different? Who am I to be confident, self-certain? It can happen so easily and effortlessly because we've been trained up to buy into that psychology. We've been programmed, we've been hypnotized by the people or the events or culture or society that who are we to be the person that we truly desire. So we start to build our own prison. We start to feed the wolf of anger, the sadness, the negative, and it makes us just feel small. And what I love about true or fable, I love that ultimately it's the one that we feed. So look in the mirror. Are we feeding our own pain by doing nothing? Are we feeding our own pain by accepting our circumstance? Are we feeding our pain by giving away our power to other people who have wronged us in the present or the past? Are we giving away of our power by doing things, but maybe not doing the right thing, which will get you the absolute solution? Because you can know the difference. And you can start to feed the wolf of joy, of love and happiness, the one which I believe, my personal truth of love, like the deepest part of you is love. At the purest core of your identity, you should be coming from a place, I said should, so less about the necessity of the linguistics there, but I really believe it's our right, rather should, to know our worth, to know that we are capable of something bigger and greater that we could ever imagine. And I'm not just trying to speak into you like all these wishful thinking. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what you know is on your heart, that you know that you desire to be. Whether it be starting your own business and doing what you love most of the time, Whether it's going into that relationship, having released those past relationships which hurt you, that cause you to feel so small and so broken. Rather bringing that baggage into the event that you're ready to go, I'm ready to go all in, to step into my happiness, to step in to my joy, to step into my purpose, whether it be to expand your career, to earn the money that you desire. There's nothing wrong with money. Money is just an object. It's what you do and how you use it that can be good or bad. But if it's on your mind and body and soul to level up your career, your business, but the limiting thoughts and the limiting beliefs are getting in our way, it is on you to no longer feed into the darkness, not to feed into the fear, not to feed into the worries and those things. It is easy to fall into that trap, so I'm not trying to make light of it. But only you can change. Even if you're in this room right now with me, I've got to ask you the questions of saying, look, do you really want this? Are you willing to follow the advice? Are you willing to go all in and just follow the successful steps to live the life of your dreams systematically on autopilot that will break you free from every limiting thought, belief, barrier, subconscious and unconscious conflict? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Now, in that moment, only you can decide. Sometimes it's got to be so hard and so bad so we feel so small and so broken and so low. Only then will we kind of wake up to, okay, now is my time. For some people, they'll just carry on being the same. And that's okay as well. Like I said, that's not my responsibility to change you or that person in my vicinity. It's not up to me. I want to be the guide, but as you all probably know, when anyone says thank you to my app or podcast review or nice comment on the YouTube live, I try to say and receive with all the gratitude, but I also want them to know that they did the work. And just like that, you've got to do the work to make this a reality. You must assume responsibility to no longer buy into or feed the wolf of fear. To no longer play that game. No longer keep on going in the direction which is no longer serving us. Because once we start to feed the right path, once we start to feed our unconscious mind with the new rhythm, the new strategy, the new song that will allow us to shine and grow, life will be something so profound, so amazing, that you'll look back one day and go, that was the moment I decided to do something different. That was the moment I decided that I refuse to stay the same. I refuse to buy into my own reasons and excuses. And that's not to say that, look, events don't hurt us. That's not to say that we're letting people off the hook. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying even something bigger than that. Something quite absolute the opposite. That we're saying we're not going to give our power away to those people. We're not going to give our power away to our past. To me, that is the greatest way that you can show that you did this. That you are the one that's going to make the change. You're the one who's going to do whatever it takes. You're going to dig deep. You're going to go all in on your future. And as I always say as well, I'm not saying about going into my program, but chances are you may not be a good fit. Like, it happens a lot. We don't want to work with everyone because it's so personalized and custom. We can't work with hundreds of thousands of people. I work with a handful of people. So I'm not saying this about me and my business. This is about your business, the business of living and becoming the person that you desire. Because you'll know if my system or what I'm saying is speaking the truth to you, where you think you might want to work with me personally. And you'll also know if you don't. But what we all both have to know, you and I and everyone else, that only you can instigate that change. Only you can be the person that assumes that responsibility. Have you ever tried to change someone? It doesn't work out well. It does not. So why is it going to work for other people trying to change you? It won't. We'll be holding on to our beliefs like never before. Because the beliefs we have about ourselves is our plan of where we're heading. It's all we know. If we don't believe we're worthy or deserving or good enough or capable, of course we're going to hold on to that because it's a part of our identity or what we believe to be our identity. But it's not. It's just what we've learned. It's just something that we've assumed to be true. And I know it's illusionary, but many beliefs and many ideas that we have about ourselves and the world, we think is a reality, but it's not. You're so much more than that. You've got so much more to give, to live, to love, to leave a legacy of joy. It doesn't have to be things. It doesn't have to be crazy impacts in the world. You being you and living your best life can be the greatest thing, the greatest accomplishment that's going to serve so many in your life. One thing I ask people who kind of go into the program is to recognize that what you're doing is not just affecting you. I mean, it's not just affecting the stress and the conflict of the body, which can shorten our life or cause stress and symptoms, conflicts, and all that stuff. We know that on a health level, that stress is not good for our body. But what about the deeper impact of maybe if you have children? What they are silently, unconsciously observing and assuming to be true. Because once again, you can play the good game, you can speak all the right words, but unconsciously, we are telling them that this is the way that life is. And if that doesn't petrify us if we have children, I don't have children, but if I did, that would petrify me to not pass the same stories to my children unconsciously, to carry out the same way, which will go maybe on for generations. That would petrify me. And that's why I'm like, you gotta look in the mirror and go, am I ready to change? Am I ready to not only change for myself, but I'm willing to change for everyone who I interact with, those who I love and care for, whether it be friends. Because the same thing happens, the same thing applies. So make the decision, wake up, that we are feeding one of the two wolves. One which is anger, sadness, hurt, of fear, of doubt, of greed, arrogance, being unauthentic, being the imposter, being the inner critic. Or we feed the wolf which is one of love and compassion for you and the world. Good for self, good for others, good for the world. That's the congruency that we want. To feed the wolf that is one of joy, one of humility, one that is allowing us to grow as a person, one of drive, one of absolute commitment to be the best version that you can be. That's what we've got to ask ourselves. If you're not doing that every day, if you're in pain, you've got to keep asking that question. And it's okay if we don't. Like I said, we can't force people to change, but it will be of disservice to you to not bring this up. Because once you do get it, you assume responsibility. And that to me is the most beautiful thing that can really make an impact. Because rather being the victim, you become the victor of your circumstance. Rather being in pain and like you just can't rise up, you become the inspiration to give people permission to do the exact same thing, but more importantly, to give yourself permission to shine, the permission to experience what you desire in the world. Now, of course, if you do need my personal help, you can go to josephclough.info/talk. And as you do that, you'll be able to book a time to speak with us. You'll fill out an application and we'll get clear on a few things, exactly what you're going through. Let's highlight the pain. Let's be truthful. Let's have that real experience of knowing what's really happening, and then to figure out where you want to be, what's getting in the way. And then if we can come up with a plan to solve it, we'll let you know. We'll get you to go, look, this is what has to happen to let this all go, the world of pain within 8 weeks. josephclough.info/talk. We might say, look, you're totally not a good fit for us because we don't do that. We don't get the result. Or maybe, like I always say, I'm very protective of people in my program, but I'm not going to allow someone in there to muddy the program. You got to be willing to go, I'm ready to shine and go all in. So that is josephclough.info/talk. And of course, we have the app. The app is there to serve you if that is not right for you. If you're not willing to go all in right now to like the fully customized experience, go to freehypnosis.app. It's there for you. 692 episodes, because that includes this one, all for free. Over 100 hypnosis sessions. You can transform in the day, you can transform as you go to sleep, you can create custom tracks. And of course, if you are enjoying the program, or sorry, the app, go ahead and leave us a review. And therefore, hopefully we can spark a light to other people who need it. That's what I'm about. That's when I look in the mirror and go, I want to be able to help as many people as possible. So I hope you join me on that mission of sharing and reviewing, because it just takes a few minutes. You go to the App Store, type in hypnosis usually, or my name, it will come up, leave a review, and therefore we can help more people in the world who need it the most. But with that, my friends, that is the end of this podcast episode, and I look forward to speaking to you on a future one as we go to after the podcast recording to speak with everyone on the live stream. Okay, many thanks and goodbye.